Mr. President, first of all, let me just say to my colleague, Senator Toomey from Pennsylvania, I have enjoyed working with him on many ventures, if you will, but this has been one particularly gratifying that we finally come to an agreement. I think it's bipartisan all the way. I think it will pass. It makes all the sense in the world. It was Jeremy Bell from my state of West Virginia that was the victim of this tragic crime that could have been prevented if we'd just known. And that's what this is all about. And as Senator Toomey has said, we're not going to give up on basically looking at making sure that we can find out who these perpetrators are, and if they have a record that we can follow and trace and keep them out of the school system before they ever begin their careers. And that's something we'll continue to be very vigilant on. So again, I want to thank him for his commitment, his hard work, his staff, and our staff enjoyed working together. We will continue to work on many endeavors that will benefit, most importantly, the children of this great country of ours in each respective states. I want to thank Senator Alexander and Senator Murray for including my amendment, another amendment I'm going to be speaking on, to promote volunteerism and community service. It's something I feel very strongly about. I go all over the state of West Virginia and speak in different parts of the country. And I speak to young people and ask them if they feel like they own the country. I said, do you have ownership? Do you believe this is your country? They look at me very strangely, and they really don't. And I said, what do you think in the Constitution, the preamble, government of the people, by the people, and for the people? Who are we speaking about? It's you. It's your government. You own it. What have you done to invest in? Are you taking care of it? Are you doing preventive maintenance? You know, I'm often reminded of the 5 promises. The 5 promises that were made, and it was started, the 5 promises, by Colin Powell. His 5 promises committee, and it's something that my wife and I, when I was governor of West Virginia, we took up, and we have a 5 promise program that we still support in West Virginia. 5 promises are simply this: every child when they're born into this world should have a loving, caring adult in their life. Somebody unconditionally that loves them. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's not always the biological parents or biological family, but every child deserves to have unconditional love. Second, every child must have a safe place where harm can't enter their life, where they know that they will be kept safe. Every child deserves that. Third, every child deserves a healthy start. We know that nutrition and basically ability to provide your nutrition, and sometimes because of their economic conditions, they don't always have that opportunity. That's a responsibility we have as the greatest country on earth, the superpower that we are. Every child should have a healthy start. Fourth, every child should grow to earn a skill, learn a skill, be able to attain a skill that'll carry them to be a successful adult in life. And I'm going to speak about the 5th promise in just a moment. Giving back to our communities, contributing our time and service to improve. You know, this is something everybody can do. You can't use the excuse, I'm sorry, my family's not wealthy enough for me to do something. That's not an excuse. I'm sorry, I live in an area, a rural area, where I just don't have that available to me. There's a need everywhere in the world, every part in this great country. There's a need for you to give something back and do something, to contribute, to reach out and to help somebody of lesser means, or maybe they don't have any assistance whatsoever in their life. But there's an opportunity for every person to give. I learned from my grandparents. I watched them open up their home, make sure there was always a bed for a stranger, make sure there was always food, and make sure there was a few rules they had to live by. You couldn't swear. We had too many young children around. You couldn't drink. And you had to work and provide something. If that was the case, then my grandparents took care of you. They wanted to share with you. It was pretty simple rules to live by. Unfortunately, true public service is not there. We, for some reason, thought that it's somebody else's responsibility to take care of us, to offer a program, a government program, federal or state program. What happened to reaching across the room, if you will, or reaching across your town or your community or your state and reaching out and helping people? Our world is different, but our commitment to our neighbors shouldn't be. That's one thing that doesn't change. One person can still have a meaningful impact on another person's life, and we know that. My amendment basically says that, and this is Senator Shaheen's been working with me, aims to encounter the trend by giving every school the flexibility to use their federal funding on programs that promote volunteerism and community service. That's all. It is optional. It's not mandatory. But if you believe that that is such an intricate part of your responsibility as an educator to make sure these young people have a chance to get into a food bank or a food pantry, or a homeless shelter, or a senior citizen opportunity to help people in need, or a nursing home. Give them that chance. You can use some of those resources that you have through this updated bill that we're about to pass, which I think is historical and much needed. That will allow them to do that. And that's all we've asked for. And I'm so appreciative and very appreciative that both our chairman, Alexander, and our ranking member, Murray, have accepted this. It's my amendment today is part of keeping General Powell's fifth promise. I told you about the four promises. The fifth promise is this: every child should grow to be a loving, caring adult and give something back. We can't teach you that one. You have to earn that one. You have to learn that one yourself. Sometimes you're able to get it from where you live, the family you live in, the community around you. Sometimes you see it and you know it's the right thing to do. This is going to give you an opportunity in an educational setting to find your lot in life, to be able to give something back, to be able to grow to be a caring, giving adult. That's what this is all about. So I believe very strongly in this amendment that we have. I believe very strongly that it is going to help the youth of America be able to be Americans. And what's expected of us as Americans, to help one another. So I would say that an investment in community service pays off, both for our students and our communities, Mr. President. In 2013, this one year, U.S. taxpayers invested $1.7 billion in our national service programs that we have to date. The total social return on this investment in 2013 was estimated to be $6.5 billion, almost a 4-to-1 return in the value that we receive back as a society. I don't think you can get a better return on investment than having the youth of America be able to give something back and learn that fifth promise to be a caring, loving adult and be able to carry this tradition on. So with that, Mr. President, I appreciate very much the chairman and the ranking member for accepting this amendment. And I think it's going to greatly help the school systems of America be able to get involved in volunteerism. Again, without social media, but truly hands-on. And so I think that this is something that we need. I'm appreciative. I want to thank you. And with that, I yield the floor, Mr. President.